Let's start with off with an introduction. Who are you and what you do? Try my dog.
Tomorrow, make sure you've got the team ready, got everything prepared.
Hey, I'm Daniel Mitchell. I'm the co-founder and creative director of Space Available Studios based here in Bali. Yeah, there's a big waste problem in Bali. I don't think it's exclusive to Bali. I think it's like a global crisis. However, in Bali, it's very visible, probably more because of the lack of waste management systems that exist here. The waste is a lot more visible, and there's a culture of just throwing things out on the street or in the river, or burning, specifically burning plastic, which is obviously terrible for everything, for the environment, the people that are inhaling it. And statistically, it says that Indonesia is the second biggest polluter of plastic behind China. But I also know that America and UK and other places from the West, they ship a lot of their waste to places like Indonesia and Southeast Asia. So I'm certainly not saying it's a only a local problem. It's a global problem. Yeah, well, we're a circular design studio, and our mission is to make space for nature and create a circular future. And what we mean by making space for nature is from an ecological standpoint, we're trying to extract the waste that we leave in nature, like the plastic waste that's everywhere. We extract it, but we also look for the alternative, such as biomaterials, which we believe is probably potentially could be an answer to an issue. So we kind of recycle waste. That's one part of what we do, but we also work with the alternative to, let's say, plastic, which could be a biomaterial and mycelium. So as a design studio, we work between the two,
We regularly in Bali and
Artinya ini, sebagai seorang artinya saya yang bekerja di wilayah visual ya, kadang kita butuh material kan itu. Jadi saya memandang plastik itu sebagai sebuah material yang menguntungkan, bukan merusak gitu. Jadi yang salah menurut saya bukan plastik, tapi kita yang salah, manusia. Plastiknya nggak salah itu, menurut saya ya.
Well, it comes from me being a creative director and wanting to have a bit more meaning behind the work I'm doing. Rather than just creating something for the sake of creating it, I felt like, I wanted to do something positive for the world and, try and make a change, and trying to change the perception of waste is something that I'm very passionate about, and to show people that actually waste is, what we're trying to say is this is a high value material and we're just throwing it away. Or actually you could probably do something quite cool with that, like make a chair or like a table that's sitting in front of you now. That's made from plastic waste, and that guy's selling these tables now for €5,000. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to change perception of waste.
Ketika saya memakai plastik sebagai material, di situ saya mulai, kenapa kita ikut-ikutan mengisi plastik? Perilaku kita yang salah itu saya rubah perilaku saya. Plastik itu saya pergunakan sebagai material. Sekian waktu itu saya sudah mulai berpikir lain. Saya harus kembangin material ini. Eksplorasi. Di awal saya memilih tali itu karena mau bikin karya seni. Saya ngumpulin tali itu dari tong sampah. Saya kumpulin di toko material. Untuk kerapanya ya. Sampai saya punya banyak satu tampil. Terus saya coba karena saya melihat kan hampir mirip kan ini, sama bambu ya, sisitan bambu. Jadi saya coba, ketemulah teknik yang sama dengan bambu gitu.
Well, sustainability, I mean, you're right, it's a bit of a buzzword. I think everybody now just uses it because they want to sound like they're doing something. But sustainability means how can we sustain the natural ecosystem that already exists without sort of damaging it.
Dengan prinsip yang tadi itu ya bambu sudah jelas ya nggak bisa pakai ke plastik, sangat berbeda. Itu juga kebiasaan saya berkarya, kadang identitas karya, ciri khas kan gitu, dan itu bisa sangat gampang dibaca lewat visual. Saya dari zaman kuliah dulu, saya nggak mau terikat pakai visual. Gimana saya mau cari ciri khasnya? Jadi saya berkarya sesuai kebutuhan. Tentu ya kebutuhan pemikiran, ide.
So we did a few initiatives with those guys. Where we did our collaborations with people like Peggy Yu and Alex Olson. We donated percentage of profits towards that company. And right now, because we're such a small company, we're just trying to reinvest in our own like recycling facility. We're starting an educational program, school space available. I'm launching the Design Academy, which is like a free class for people to learn how to upcycle and recycle plastic waste and do bio-design and all that sort of stuff. And this is all for free for the community. And so for us, that's where we'd rather like spend our like the revenue for, like, it's obviously important to plant trees and everything else, but we feel like we can make more impact when we can see the results firsthand rather than giving to somebody and then, you know, I believe that they're doing a great job, but when you're not there, you can't see if you just get a photo or maybe, you know, where I can help people and provide people the tools so they can go off and start their own recycling company or their own, you know, upcycling brand or lab. I think that's something which kind of interests me more than just sort of giving to charity.
Mau kecil terus kayak bayi, itu saya
Berkembang.
ya berkembang bukan berubah.
Ya.
Untuk berubah itu butuh keberanian loh. Jangan salah.
Yeah, so Nano is somebody that we work with very regularly. He's like a big part of our team. He's a great weaver and an artist, and he is also championing a very unique form of weaving, which we really admire. And it's very you know, Balinese. It's very Nano.
Realistis, pragmatis, ideal. Malu gue idealis yang makan.
Yeah.
Tapi kita bisa mau berubah material, benda yang memang remeh atau terbuang tidak kepakai, dan kita dengan kesadaran, pemikiran dan estetika kita, jadi benda itu menjadi value-nya nambah.
And so we have a space available. We really believe in craft culture, and we want to kind of elevate craft to the world. And we're inviting a company called Greater Goods. We've got the Greater Goods team here. They were a company based in London.
Love you guys.
Who champion upcycling, and work with people like Nike and Solomon and different brands to upcycle kind of their wasting new products.
How are you finding it? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Is it easy?
So we're inviting those guys to Bali, and we're doing a workshop together with Greater Goods and Nano. Put them together and see what crazy stuff that happens, you know.
Ya, dapat.
Sure. Yeah. So at Greater Goods, we primarily use old garments that are discarded, broken, out of warranty, and turn them into new things. And it started for me as like a personal hobby, just using an old jacket and turning it into something new using sewing machine. And what I want to like leaves this where there's like anyone can do it. If you have an old jacket, an old pair of jeans, just try to turn it into something new. So like the inside, yeah. It's like what Dan was saying. So there's no such thing as waste. It's just finding uses for it. You know, and I think that's a mindset change that needs to happen. But if we do it all locally, like as individuals, if we change our attitude towards it, we'll have a larger effect. So yeah, I always think on like a local scale. What can we do in our communities? And you've got a great community here in Bali, you know, like everyone's so connected. So more stuff like this.
Yeah, well, I guess the vision, like for Bali, I feel like already exists, and it's already existed for a long time. That's just kind of like the original culture of Bali, where everything was made with natural material. And I believe until like the 1980s or something, it was very hard to even find plastic in Bali. It was kind of everything was the banana leaves, and there was like a lot much more kind of indigenous approach, like everything a banana leaf, everything in paper, but actually it's, if you could just modernize that and make it a bit more contemporary for today's needs, I think that would be a way better solution than just buying everything from these big corporations, you know. So what I hope is that culture of craft in making things from natural materials becomes like something that the young generation, like you guys, seeing the value in, because it's a very precious, valuable skill set that we don't want to lose. And I feel if that was just modernized a little bit, like I think the answer's already there, you know, because it's very aligned with nature. And I think it's a Triadic Karana philosophy. It's like everything's kind of aligned. I think if you take that philosophy into everything you do, in terms of also what you make, like people think, oh, that's how I live my life, but I have my business like this. We're just trying to like simply change the perception of waste by using waste material and trying to kind of just spread the message, you know, through design and culture and art and these sorts of things. But for Bali, I feel like, yeah, just going back to the original ways of doing things, but updating them for modern times, you know.